The reason why yogurt production is hard is because it's easy. If you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying. Yogurt today and I'm not having the required result, is because you have missed out on asking yourself what. But to save yourself that question, these are the three factors you have to consider before you make your first yogurt, or maybe you're into yogurt, you don't understand why you are getting it wrong. This must be one of the reasons, or maybe the three of the reasons. Coming across my videos for the first time, I'd like you to smash that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and give us a thumbs up, because I'll always be sharing videos like this on my channel. So I have two bonuses for you guys today. The first bonus is going to be at the start of this video, and the last bonus is going to be at the end of this video. So you have to watch this video to the very end to get that bonus. If you're a pro and you're not getting it right, it's because perhaps your culture isn't culturing enough, like isn't good enough. But I'm going to teach you how to make your own starter at home. One of the ingredients you can use is your chili pepper. You can actually use your chili pepper as a yogurt starter at home. So these are the chili pepper. You can see I didn't remove the what is it? Is it what do I call the stick? Okay, I'm gonna call it the stick because I don't know the word to use for it. So you're gonna remove the stick. You're not gonna remove the stick out of it. Please don't remove the stick. This is the stick that is gonna actually activate everything. You are not removing it. You're gonna just throw it into your milk and leave it for 24 hours. I'm just gonna show you in a bit. So let's dive right into it. Don't mind me that I'm bringing all this up, because I know some of you like, just do the yogurt now, just do the yogurt, let's see how to do it. No, because these are the things, these are the reasons why after watching YouTube videos, you're still not going to get your yogurt right. You'll be like, I followed the video now, why am I getting it wrong? These are the reasons, because they will not come and tell you all these things. I wouldn't like to take much of your time, but I'm going to take my time to do this because I want you to understand what you're dealing with. Just take yogurt production as you being in a lab. You can check the videos I released 2 months back. You realize that there are some things you have to understand about yogurt production. Today we're going to talk about how to make yogurt. If you're into yogurt business and you do yogurt for commercial purpose, you have to listen to this video, because this might just be the reason why you are not getting the required result for your yogurt. And there are three factors that contribute to you not getting your required result. When you calculate that I make yogurt today and it was up to the number of bottles that I usually supply, and the next day you make yogurt and it's lesser, or in some other time it doesn't even work at all, like your yogurt is liquid and you can't even supply. This might just be one of the reasons you're not getting your yogurt correctly, whether the nature of your culture and the nature of the milk you're using. I usually use Dano milk, for instance, and Dano milk have been something I use regularly, but it got to a point that I'm not getting the required result from my yogurt. I'm like, why is it? Dano milk, if you're not in Nigeria, Dano milk is just a refill. This inside this big bag, you go, they measure it with mudu for you. That's 1 kg of Dano milk. That's what I normally use. But I realized that I was not getting, recently, Dano milk is not working for me. So the nature of milk you're using might change, maybe because the company has, maybe they are trying to look at profit, they want to make more money, and then they reduce on their quality. And if the milk has low quality, you can't really get your required results when you use it for yogurt production, because yogurt is a live bacteria, lactose bacillus. So in order for it to thrive, it has to have a very good condition. The milk has to be on point, the culture has to be on point, the environment has to be on point. The only way you can test if a milk is solid is when you use it for yogurt production and it comes out well. The number two factor why you're not getting your result is when I say environmental factor, or the weather. Weather contributes to how your yogurt comes out. So if you're in dry season, or you're in, like currently we're in Harmattan season, because you need this bacteria to thrive in a very cozy, warm environment, what do? You double check by putting extra measures to it. After boiling the milk, when you usually put the yogurt to cool off, usually I allow my milk to cool off for 2 hours. But when the weather is very cold, just realize that the cooling time is going to be shorter. You understand? And you need your yogurt to be at the right temperature. Are you getting my point? So you're going to put that into consideration. If the weather is very, very cold, you have to put it to, let's say, 1 hour, 30 minutes. But if the weather is just the way it should be, the right condition, then 2 hours is okay. The milk directly facing the window or something, You have to just consider this. I don't want you to think that, oh yes, this is the way I used to do my yogurt, this is the way it has always be. Look at the conditions every time, because it's going to make you as a professional look like you don't know what you're doing. That I've been doing yogurt for numbers of time now, how come I'm still getting it wrong? No, it's not your fault. It's because you, okay, maybe it's your fault because you've not yet considered all these factors. Next one is the culture. The culture that you're using is going to determine how your yogurt comes out too. You know, your culture is a life culture and is a yogurt. You understand? You get it from the mall or something. Then when you get this culture, you have to test it. And I'm not going to use a biological term. You make sure that the culture you are buying is written life culture, because there's some yogurt that doesn't have life culture. Test it. Test it to see if it's sour enough, because that's the only way. It's not that you have a microscope to be checking the lactose bacillus, whether they are moving around or not. But the only way you can know the presence of lactose bacillus is when you test it. So the sourness of the yogurt, the more sour it is, the more much likely that your lactose bacillus is present. That is, your culture is very, very active. So you have to test it, because sometimes you buy yogurt, maybe they just produce it and you go and buy it. The sourness is not going to be that as much as when you stay longer before you buy the yogurt. The sourness is going to be different. But because you say, I think this is the culture I used to use now. Why is the culture not working for me now? Because when you bought the culture was the yogurt was just produced like yesterday, and you go and buy it today, and you expect the culture to be active. It's not going to be that active. You understand? So you have to like, or better still, when you buy yogurts like that, keep it for 24 hours outside the fridge. But sometimes, all this preservative they normally add on it, it might not really work out for you. But that's why I will advise you, after you've made your first yogurt production, you fetch another sample from the one you just made, so that you keep it outside for like let's say 24 hours before you put it inside the fridge. Then next time you're going to use make yogurt, you can use that one that you fetched out of the batch that you first produced. But if you are making your yogurt for the first time, definitely you can't get that done, because you are doing it for the first time. You have to buy culture. But after that first production, make sure that you fetch some out and leave it outside for another extra 24 hours. But it's going to be different from the one you are selling. Don't leave the one that you are selling for another 24 hours, because you don't want it to be too sour. In the sense, customers won't like it when it's too sour. But when you are going to fetch the one that you're going to use for another production out, make sure you leave it for 24 hours. I know I'm emphasizing on this because I don't want you to start your yogurt business on a wrong foot and not get the required result. Because even to make that Greek yogurt, to make that fruit parfait, you need to get your yogurt production right from the start. Are you getting my point? So when it's already fermented, then you now start using, you notice that your yogurt is becoming more thicker when you use badges of samples or culture from your previous production, because that one there's no preservative on it. But the one you buy in supermarket, there are preservatives on it, and it can tamper with the nature of the yogurt. So like this picnic, we're going to use picnic for today's production. The reason is I usually use dynamic, but I realized that dynamic was not giving me the required result. Like I said, the kind of milk you're using might not be a quality one, or it might be a quality one before, but the company might just wake up and say, no, we are not getting much profit, let's cut down on quality. So this is the water we're going to use. Okay, you're going to fetch like 5 liters of water. So I don't know, it's a bit above 5 liters. So okay, this is exactly 5 liter. So you can see this is 5 liters of water. This is what we're going to use. So we're going to put this into the pot. And we're going to light it up. You're not going to let your water start boiling before you start putting the milk. So you are going to put your milk almost immediately. Immediately when you put the water in, you start turning in your milk gradually. Gradually. Treat it with care, you understand? Not vigorously as if you are fighting with the milk. So you start pouring it in, and you start mixing it in, you can see. So just to get rid of the lumps, so you're going to have to break it in. So if you buy milk and you're pouring it in and it's finding it difficult to dissolve on time, It might probably means the milk is not good, or maybe it's full of cream, because when you pour cream inside water, it doesn't dissolve on time. So that means there is a creamy yogurt. Creamy milk. No, you're not using a creamy milk. You're using a full milk. You understand? A full milk, total complete milk. I don't know if they usually specify though. Let me check this one. Okay, they say full cream instant milk powder. Okay, full cream. That cream, I'm scared of that cream though, but let's see. They always they always assume that everybody that is making milk is just for tea. Well, yeah, some of us that use it for business, we make yogurt out of it. You understand? In my next video, I'm going to actually I'm going to try to make yogurt using fresh cow milk. Like, those Hausa Malu milk, all those cow milk, you understand? I'm going to go and extract fresh cow milk and use it for my yogurt and see if the result is quite better, or maybe just the perfect result, or maybe, yeah, I don't know what could go wrong, but we'll find out. So if you want to find out what the result, so you have to stick around and stick to my channel. You understand? Because it's gonna be fun. You understand? So I'm going to use a wooden spatula from this point, because you have to don't use iron. I don't advise you use anything iron. You understand? On your milk, use wood, a wooden spatula. So you gradually keep on turning. And the disadvantage of buying all these measuring, what's it called, milk, is that they're not properly kept, because you buy it today and you see that sometimes you see cockroach inside, sometimes you see some particles inside, hair inside, just because it's in a big bag, and the storekeepers might not keep it properly, and you just go and buy it, and you want to make yogurt and you're seeing stuff inside. It's not really a good sight. It's best that you keep on turning your milk this way as you are heating it up. And let me show you the flame, because sometimes you don't know the right flame to use. Medium flame. I don't want it to be too low or too high. The more you turn your milk, the sweeter and the better your yogurt comes out. So the more you turn it, the better. But don't turn it like as if you are fighting with you. No, 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 don't do that. Just gently caress it with your spatula. You can be doing this every 2 minutes. You can see there are some ripples just before it starts boil. That's when you're going to turn off the heat. So you can see that it's hot enough. So I think we are okay to this point. I usually sieve mine to make sure that if there are any, I know there's no possibility that it's going to be like, since it's not the one that I was measured from, it was well packed. But in case there are any debris though, it's going to be on this silver. So this is the culture we're going to be using, zeta. So we're going to be using half of this culture. So let's say 1 cup of this culture. That's what we're going to be using. This is a zeta yogurt, unsweetened yogurt. So I'm going to put it close to it, so that it can get warm up. So I'm going to allow this mix stay like this for 2 hours. I said I was going to give you a bonus. So we're going to do our starter. So I'm going to fetch some milk from this yogurt that we've left to cool off. So because we want to make our starter from it too, I'm going to take it. So I think this is enough. So this is going to be for our starter. You get? So I'm going to allow this cool off too for, let's say, 30 minutes. This was what I was supposed to use, and this is the result for putting a hot milk on a plastic container. So it's gone. So like this, we're gonna allow this chill for, let's say, 20 minutes. Okay, or 30 minutes, but I'm gonna test run it on my finger to see if the temperature is just right. So this is after 30 minutes. It's well cooled off. Come closer. So I'm going to, you can see there is this gelatinous stuff substance on the head. I'm just gonna pull it off. I usually eat it. So it tastes nice. So sorry, I have to wash my hand. I'm just gonna take one of those chili pepper. Okay, no, let's say two. You see, the top is still very fresh. So I'm just gonna take this one. I'm gonna take this one and throw it inside. And I'm trying to get the one that is actually very nice. Well, see, this would do. Okay, maybe I should put this one. So it's looking nicer. Are you saying it? I just want to get the whole combination. This one is half ripe and this one is totally ripe. So I'm just gonna throw it inside. So and I'm gonna put the lid on it. Put this aside. I'm gonna let this stay for 24 hours. So I'm just gonna put it here. So guys, after 24 hours of fermentation, this is how the mix looks like. It's coagulated. So I'm just gonna take the pepper out, and this is it. You can see the consistency is heavy. So after another 24 hours, I just put it out in my kitchen. I didn't do anything to it, and that's it. So back to our main video. This is our yogurt after 2 hours of cooling, and we're going to be using Zeta. Zeta, you can see the production date. Today is 15, but you can see the production date and the expiration date. You can see it's quite different. That means it has been long. That was last year they produced it. So I'm going to pour in like 1 cup of this yogurt. It's an unsweetened yogurt. So you're going to gently mix it together. So we're going to put in clay film just to trap in the heat so that it won't escape through the corners of the lid. So we're going to put the lid on and we're going to put it inside a warmer. And just to make sure, I'm going to cover it again with wrapper. But when you get to that point of fermenting your yogurt and you leave it in a cozy environment, and you're gonna see the type of environment I'm gonna use. I call it environment. I'm a biologist, so I always use the word environment, even though it's inside your oven. It's an environment. You understand? So when you bring your yogurt after the period of 3 hours, 3 hours of fermentation, I want you to check your yogurt. If your yogurt is well fermented enough, that is depending on your culture and how fast it works, you are going to notice that, okay, yes, it's thick enough. But when you leave it further than that, your yogurt start becoming sour. Maybe you are leaving your yogurt for 5 hours, 6 hours, 7 hours. Your yogurt start becoming sour and not thicker anymore. But when you notice at that period of that 3 hours that you want to make your yogurt for, your yogurt is going to be just nice and creamy. They won't even recognize that it's yogurt because the sourness is just going to be very small. It's not going to be too much and overpowering. Are you getting my point? So you have to notice that at that period of 3 hours, if your yogurt isn't fermented to that point that is thick enough, you can still leave it. Are you getting me? So you have to study it. You know that, okay, yes, my yogurt has to be 3 hours. Then when it's 3 hours, you check it and it's not thick enough, you just decide to just halt the process. Like I said previously, that weather has an impact on the yogurt because we are in Hamatan season and my area is very, very cold. That's why I have to double check by putting the yogurt inside the warmer and then inside the abandoned fridge. If not, I usually just put it in the abandoned fridge, expecting it to ferment just like that. And in the next 3 hours, it's all fermented because I'm using culture from my previous batches. But because of the video, I'm not using culture from my previous batch. Instead, I'm using Zeta yogurt. That's why I had to put the fermentation period for 6 hours. I said I had two bonuses for you. So the last bonus is how to make your Greek yogurt. It's not fast fetch. All you need to do is to just sieve your yogurt. And this is a sample I'm going to keep for my next production, like I said earlier on. So I'm going to just blend it after 1 hour of sieving the water out. But if you are using it for a regular yogurt, you could just leave it. So I'm going to put in a milk flavor. This is a liquid milk flavor. It's going to give you that milk taste, and I'm going to add in some sugar into it depending on how sweet you want your Greek yogurt to be. So our Greek yogurt is blended and ready to go. So you can use this for your parfait, or you can just take it like it is. You can see the consistency is quite heavy. So this is the bonus I have for you guys. So how to pack your fruit parfait. So some of you guys who supply a store, because you guys added fresh fruit to your a parfait, and when you leave it for a long period of time, it gets bad and soggy. People don't want to buy it. But this one, we are going to pack our granola differently. We are not going to mix it in. We are not going to put in some fruit inside. The fruit that is going to be inside is a dry fruit. You can see the sticker. It covers it perfectly. It covers the lid and the bottle or the cup together. And you can pack your spoon this way and your granola this way, depending on how you want. In this granola, we have cashew, coconut chips, dry fruits, and yes, of course, the granola. So you can see this is just the best way to pack your granola if you know that you want it to have a long shelf life and you don't have to waste any of your products. So if you have watched this video to this time, I would like you to hit the subscribe button and give us, a thumbs up. You can see I decided to make this decoration. When I say decoration, just to make it look like it's a gift, to attract people. You understand? You have to have a business mindset.